Pleasure to be here today. So this is a business I've wanted to talk to for quite a while now. This is Youthful Aesthetics medi-spa.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the services that you offer here and some of the, what really led you to bring a medi-spa to Gadsden?
It's really been a passion of mine, honestly, for a long time, and just having something different in the area that we could really offer to Gadsden, because I feel like there's not a true full service medical spa here. So just being able to offer like a broad variety of different services. So.
And I know you use the word medi-spa. What's the difference between a regular spa and a medi-spa?
So with a medical spa, we have to have a physician on staff. So we have a medical director here that pretty much oversees all of our practice and services we do. So being able to be a medical spa and having that medical director, we can really offer more invasive treatments. And then that's how we're able to do the laser treatments and then be able to have our clinic days with our Botox and filler. So it just gives us a more variety of services that we can offer here instead of just, you know, your basic facials and stuff like that.
So it adds a degree of professionalism to everything with having actual doctor oversight and...
Correct, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other services that you offer? I know that you mentioned some of them, but I know you actually offer a pretty wide variety of things here too.
We do. So we've got several lasers here. So we do a lot of laser hair removal. IPL, we've got the Pixel 8, which is our microneedling with radio frequency. We have hydrofacial, we do chemical peels, we do some body contouring, and then Botox, dermal fillers. Oh, let's see, what else do we do? There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So I know you mentioned a lot of machinery. I'm sorry, I'm a guy, and so some of that stuff. Because you said microneedle?
Yes.
Okay, so what does that do?
So microneedling is also known as your collagen induction therapy.
Okay.
So it's creating little microchannels. It's opening up the microchannels on the skin, creating little wounds, and it's actually telling your body to start going to wound healing mode. So when your body starts going into wound healing mode, it tells your body to start building more collagen and elastin. So great thing about when we start to get older, our body starts to deplete that collagen and elastin fibers, and that's when I feel like us women, we really start to see like a downward pull to our skin. So this is just keeping those skin cells turning over and telling your body to go back to work and start producing that naturally again.
It's better than walking everywhere upside down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. And you mentioned the Pixel machine. What does it do?
So that is our microneedling with radio frequency. So
Okay.
you get all the benefits of microneedling, but when those microchannels are opening, it's shooting radio frequency in with it. So radio frequency is actually the only device that can go all the way to the collagen layer of the skin. So as we get older, those collagen fibers are supposed to be in a straight line, and they start to bend, and then they eventually snap. So that radio frequency goes all the way to the collagen layer, and it's actually heating up those collagen fibers and pulling it back tight. So you're getting all the benefits of your microneedling, but then you see a lot more lift and tightening with this treatment too.
Okay, so it's just reaching further into the skin to do the work that it's doing.
Yep, that's my favorite treatment right now.
Okay, pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it?
I love that you really can work on any skin type with it. It's beneficial for any age, whether you're younger or it can be a preventative treatment. So we're preventing the skin from breaking down, or we can really target someone that's got some more mature skin. So for me, I feel like I'm in my 30s, but I can tell my texture is really starting to change as I'm getting older. And so just being able to just really address the texture, and I'm just preventing, from my skin really starting to sag, and I don't want to look old.
Nobody does.
But you can see great results after one treatment. So I love being able to, when I'm performing the treatment, I can just see. It's like instant gratification.
Oh, really? So it does work that quick?
Yeah.
It's not one of these where, you need to come back for 20 more of them.
No, you can tell a difference, and it's really cool because I like to treat one side of the face, because you can really see where the skin really starts to lift and tighten from it. So
it's that instantaneously.
It's a very rewarding treatment.
and then
love
hold
it.
the mirror up and they say, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in 24 hours, it's even, more drastic. So
is that something somebody would return for more treatments, or?
I typically put people on a series of 3 to 4, but it really just depends on the severity of their skin and exactly what they're coming in for us to target and treat. So it's great for, microneedling was really first created for people that had acne scarring. And so if I have somebody that comes in that has some severe pigmented scarring, they may need a little bit more treatments than somebody that, they have a little bit more mild. So it really depends on the client, but you're seeing big differences after just one. And then once we go through like a series, we put everybody pretty much on a treatment plan. And then they can come in and do like maybe 1 or 2 a year just for some maintenance.
Okay. So kind of in between, a little bit of prevention, but a little bit of, hey, you've invested this, here's how you maintain it.
Yes.
So yeah, exactly.
I think that treatment's so great because we're correcting and we're preventing. So
yes,
it's great.
And it's good for all different skin types too. I know that's something I never really considered. I guess when I got a little bit older, to go, wait a second, there's differences like I am married. I couldn't necessarily share beauty products with my wife because her hair type's different than mine. Her skin type is different than mine.
Yeah.
So just having that individualized recommendation to say, here's what you need to do because of your skin type.
Correct.
So it's not, there's nothing wrong. It's, you just need that individualized care to say, here's what you do need to do and here's how it can make it better.
And that's why we have such a wide variety of different treatments and devices here, because we really do want to be able to treat anybody and everybody's skin type. So, and I mean, just for me, myself, I know I'm redheaded, super, super pale. I'm going to respond a little bit differently. So my settings are going to have to be adjusted different because I do get super inflamed. I do get red. I have a lot of red undertones. But my settings are going to be different versus somebody that they have a little bit more darkness in their skin or a little bit more depth or even thicker skin. So I always burn if I go in any sun exposure. So my settings have to be a little bit lower. But that's what's so great about these devices is that we're really able to tailor it towards each and every one of our clients' skin type and their skincare needs.
And having full doctor oversight with this as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And something else about that too. I know we were talking a little bit before about not only are they here for oversight. This isn't having doctors on staff to just make sure you're not messing anything up. There is that aspect of it too. But you have doctors that are passionate about what they do.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of them. And I know I'm biased because they're here with us, but seriously, I've said that there's physicians that they kind of want to get into this and they dabble in it a little bit, but you truly have to be dedicated to this line of work and passionate about it, because when you're working on people's skin, I mean, their face, that's the first thing people see. There's so much art to it, especially when you're really doing filler, because you have to make sure that you're keeping the face balanced. And so our physicians are so great because they really, they have other full-time jobs and families, but they devote so much of their time here and just in education. So anytime I'm like, hey, we've got this training that we can go to, everybody's always on board, and they're so involved. So they don't just show up once a month and do something. I mean, it's a daily basis. They're walking in and out of here. They're not just
phoning it in.
Yeah, they're present and they're so involved, and I think that it really shows in their work that they love what they do.
Right. And I love how you focus on the customer themselves. When somebody walks through your door, you don't just say, here's our menu.
Right.
Pick from, what you like. Somebody might have walked in the door hearing about a treatment and they can go, is this correct for me? And you say, well, you might see something better with this other treatment. So having that knowledge, I know that's one thing that you really stress is education with everybody that's on staff here.
Yeah.
They're just as passionate about this as you are.
I have always been huge into education just because the aesthetic industry, it's constantly changing, it's evolving. I don't care how long you've been in this industry. There is always room for more education and growing and learning, and I'm all for that. And I just feel like my team here as a whole, I have a great staff, and they're so eager, they're so hungry to learn, and I feel like we can just really the more education we can do, we really can just implement it back into our clients. And I feel like it shows in your work. I mean, I'm not going to go somewhere where somebody can't tell me exactly what this treatment is, what it's going to do for my skin, the downtime of it. I want my clients to walk in here and feel like their treatment plan was catered just for them, and that we're really knowledgeable about the services that we're providing.
Absolutely. So talking about all the different work that you're doing, from not only improving but doing maintenance, you also have products in stock too.
We do, yeah. So I'm constantly telling my clients, these treatments are so great for your skin, but not everybody's going to be able to come in here every single day. And I know it's hard for people even to come in here on a monthly basis. So making sure that you're really implementing in a good skincare regimen is so important. And people, they go to CVS or Ulta and they're just buying stuff off the shelf, or they're just washing their face in Dial soap. They really don't know what their skin needs. And like we've talked about everybody's skin is different.
And the people there don't know.
They don't. There's no, they aren't educated enough maybe to tell them exactly what they need. So I really try and tell people that your maintenance is going to be your at-home skincare regimen. And so we really try to customize every client that comes in here. We try and get them on a good skincare regimen, because that's going to be their maintenance at home. So
right.
If they're coming and doing treatments and then they're using their recommended products, their take-home products, their results are just going to be, so much better. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you're making an investment in yourself.
Yeah, it definitely
and
is.
so this is kind of the insurance policy that goes with it, is to say, here's the care and maintenance. Mm-hmm. And so pretty much any product, the better that you take care of it, the longer it's going to last
right.
you. So yeah. It's just good to do.
And when you get into doing some of these treatments that are more medical based and invasive and complex, you have a certain aftercare protocol that you have to follow with. So we really try and, we definitely set out everything. If somebody's coming in here and getting a laser treatment done, then there's a certain protocol that you have to follow at home in order to see the results. So we really try to make sure, we always have those products on hand too that they can take home with them, just to make sure that they're really caring for their skin properly after their treatments.
It's like surgical aftercare.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. And that's nice that you put everything together, outlined, because you want the customer to get the best for what they've done.
Yes. And I feel like typically, we can tell, like we do tattoo removal here, for instance, and there's a certain way that you have to care for that during the healing process. And so if I have somebody call me that they're like, oh, this scabbed or whatever, I'm like, well, what were you doing at home? Like, were you putting the correct, cream on it that we sent home with you? Were you doing this? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, okay, well, that's why you didn't have the outcome, that you were supposed to have, because you weren't taking care of it properly. So it's so important to make sure that you're following your at-home aftercare protocols.
So I know when you say medi-spa, there are actually health benefits to some of the treatments beyond just an aesthetic benefit.
Yes. Yeah. So this was, I was actually drilling my mom on this the other day, but so 80% of premature aging comes from the sun. Mm-hmm. And UV exposure. And so much of that UV exposure can be from you riding in the car. You get environmental pollution every time, you walk outside. And so I feel like some of these treatments you can come in here and do, we're keeping your skin from breaking down. We're educating you on the environmental pollution that you can get, and the sun, which we all know that sun damage can cause sun cancer and skin cancer. And that's terrible. So we're trying to really educate people on that, and then really get a hold of people's skins before it turns into something that's more really life-threatening and altering. But then just vascularity issues is something that I feel like is so huge now, and we're seeing it in a lot of our younger clientele too, just from the way people work. And so we have lasers that can really target vascularity issues like varicose veins, and that's something that's great. I didn't realize it honestly until not long ago how many people truly struggle with vascular issues. And so I know sometimes people, it takes a long time to get in with dermatologists too.
It is.
And now they can come here and see one of our physicians, and then if it's something that's, within our scope of practice, we can treat it. And so I think that's great. And I don't think people know I don't think people know how much you can really utilize lasers to treat skin concerns, even on a medical realm.
Well, and the great thing is it's a non-surgical intervention.
It is. So you can come and do this treatment and you literally have no downtime with it. So that's something
huge.
That's great. Yeah.
Because if you're too busy and trying to squeeze yourself into a dermatologist, or that way with no downtime, you just kind of come in, do the treatment, do the aftercare, and then you're still mobile.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times there's been some stuff I've been pretty guilty of myself to not go into the doctor just because of the treatment time and everything that comes with it. I can't be down for a long time.
Right, yeah.
So I've got a lot going on constantly. So that's one benefit of it. Time, I think we don't pay enough attention to how much time something takes. I think we just think, well, we have tons of time. You really don't.
No, you don't. Anything that we can do, I know for myself that I can do it, quicker, and I can get in it works more around my schedule, and I'm not going to be tied up at a doctor's office all day long, or I'm having to travel far off. I'm all for it if it can cut my time in half.
Yeah, so when I was younger, it didn't feel like anything to take an hour and drive to Birmingham because, we want to go down there and go shop or go eat or something like that. But then when you're trying to squeeze it into a life, especially it's football season right now.
Oh, no.
During dodging sports, dodging things like that, it's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So having something right here locally is very handy as well.
Yeah.
And I know some of the treatments you offer, things like Botox. I've heard you mention that. So I didn't know this until very recently. There are actually some medical uses of Botox outside of aesthetics as well.
So we've had some of our doctors have injected some clients that have issues with TMJ. So injected in their masseters has really helped with that. It's great for migraine, preventative and treating migraines. I've always suffered from migraines. There's so many health benefits from doing injectable services like that.
Sweating. I didn't know that was a thing too.
Yes. So hyperhidrosis is something that is so common, and you can actually inject your underarms. I've had clients come in that they have sweating issues on their hands and their feet, and so you can use Botox to really address that. And it's so neat, really.
Scalp, underarms, a few other.
Yeah. It's great.
That is, I would have probably never considered that, but again, the same thing, because you have physicians on staff. This isn't where I have to go in, sit in a dermatologist's office, go through the diagnosis, fill out tons of paperwork. This is more efficient, where you can recommend this to a client, and then you have a doctor on staff that says, yes, this is the correct thing that we need to do for this patient. So it's a level of professionalism that you bring to your customers here.
Right. And they're so, I hear so many people complain about some of their physicians not having like a good bedside manner. And they don't, they're coming in and getting these treatments, and then they walk out and they're like, wait, what did I just do?
It has stopped me from going back to a doctor because of bedside manner. I'm pretty tough. I can take a lot of stuff, but not everybody's that way.
Ours are so personable. I literally so Dr. Higgins is our medical director, and sometimes I'll have to go get him out of the room and be like, you got to stop talking. We got to go to the next one, because he's so bouncy when he comes in here. He's so informative and so smart and so thorough with his consults and his treatments. And Dr. Warren's the same. He's like a walking encyclopedia. But they're giving you all the knowledge on the backside before they treat you, and they really just make sure that they're customizing the correct treatment plan for each of our clients. But then they're really going in depth of exactly what it is that you're doing today. And when they always let you know what's to be expected. And I just feel like our clients come in here and they feel more at ease, and they're more confident knowing exactly what it is that they're having done and what to expect.
Well, I think confidence is a huge part of that, because that's kind of the reason we would walk through the door anyway.
Yeah.
Is to be more confident about ourselves.
Yeah.
So whether it's from aesthetics or something that, like what I would call a second degree, if my shirt has sweat stains on it and I want to be able to do something about that leads to more confidence as well. So that's really kind of the number one thing to me overarching, is that confidence is important.
It is.
And you have a great way to deliver that to your customers.
Something that I really wanted to instill in my business here is that I didn't want people to walk through my doors and just feel like they were another number. I wanted them, from the time they walk in my door, they feel like we really give them a personable experience. and they're here for us to enhance their natural beauty already. But I feel like mental health is such a big thing to me too. And so I feel like when you're more confident about yourself, it really just radiates in your everyday life. You look better and you feel better. And that's something that we really try and just instill in here. Like, there's services that we can truly offer to everybody. But our number one goal is for all of our clients to walk in here and feel comfortable, feel like they received a personable experience. Really just instill in them knowledge and education on all the services we offer and the benefits to them. But then we want them to feel better about themselves when they leave. And I can't tell you like how much it warms my heart. And at the end of the day, when somebody's like, thank you, like I feel better about myself now. I really know why I'm in this industry and why I do what I do.
It's the impact that you make on people's lives.
It is.
Because you see that, like you said, when you're working on a patient and you do half of the face and then they see that transformation, and that's personalized. Mm-hmm. That's not something, this is not a fast food restaurant where you go order off the menu. You have somebody that from the time they walk in the door, you're taking them through a journey.
Yes.
So in medical, my background is actually in medical software, and so when a patient, your entire stay at a hospital, most people would say, well, I'm in a stay. In the industry, they would call that a journey. Mm-hmm. So you have a number that's assigned to you when you walk in the door, but they look at your movement through that hospital. Did this person move from place to place in the most efficient manner? Did they receive the level of care that they need to? Some hospitals, you don't get that. Some do. Some really cared, and you could see behind the scenes. But that's one great thing that you're doing here. Each patient that comes in, they have a journey. So they know why they came here, and then you provide them something that they can't get anywhere else. And they had a great experience. Yeah. Surrounded by people that care about them, people that want to see them achieve results. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really, I love that you use the word journey, because I hear our physicians talk about that all the time. But that really is our goal here, and, I want everybody to have a great experience and really go on this journey with us, and we're here to the end to make sure that you fulfill everything you wanted to along your journey.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you tell us where you're located and what your hours are?
So we are at 109 Hollingsworth Avenue in Rainbow City, Alabama. We are open Tuesday through Friday, usually from 9 to 6. Sometimes I'll kind of customize it and get here a little bit earlier. And then we do some Mondays and Saturdays. Those are usually by like a specific appointment. So we're really flexible. We're really good, I feel like, at working with people's schedules too. If they need a specific day or time, we try and adjust that. So.
Absolutely. You're very conveniently located. You have a great location here.
This location's been so good to us.
Yeah.
We love it. I feel like it's easy to access, and we love it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sitting down with me today.
Thank you.
I know my viewers will appreciate hearing everything you had to say.
I'm so glad to have you. I'm glad we got to chat.
It's absolutely been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.